Hello and welcome back. I mean, it feels like ages, but it's only been one half-term holiday, hasn't it? Now, I've got a question for you. Have you ever tried to tell someone something, but they just won't listen? Like, how about this example? No, really, there are donuts around the corner and they're free, seriously. Donuts, donuts, get your free donuts. Anyone? Or what about this? I promise you it wasn't me. I was in electrical the whole time. It was yellow. Vote yellow. I'm not the imposter. Or what about this one? Quick, quick, move out of the way or that car's going to... In November, we're looking at forgiveness. And we'll be looking at what it means to forgive, at how we do it, who we should forgive, and things like that. But first, we need to think about ourselves. Because sometimes people won't listen to us, like in the examples earlier. But sometimes it's us that don't listen. In fact, sometimes the hardest person in the world to get to listen is ourselves. Here's what I mean. You see, in the Bible, in Psalm 32 verse 5, Psalms is a book of songs and poems in the Bible. It says this: "Finally, I confess my sins to you and I stopped trying to hide my guilt." It's someone writing about confessing to God, telling God the things we've done rather than trying to hide them. And it's scary stuff telling someone that you've done something wrong. But let's read on. So it says, "Finally, I confess my sins to you and stopped trying to hide my guilt. And you forgave me." No telling off, no punishment. The Bible says that when we tell God the things we've done, when we say sorry, he forgives us. And that's amazing because forgiveness is hard to do. We're going to talk about that next week. But remember earlier I said, sometimes the hardest person to get to listen is ourselves. Well, it's true because sometimes we know that God forgives us. We think, Dan told me that in an assembly. In fact, Dan told me that in almost every assembly for the last 7 years. But is it really true? What if I've done something really bad? Or what if I just don't feel like I'm very good at stuff or good enough at anything to be forgiven? Or what if I'm really struggling and I always seem to be getting things wrong and doing things wrong? God won't forgive me. But the Bible says he will. And so really it's us who won't forgive ourselves often. And you know, sometimes we go on and on at ourselves and we really beat ourselves up. No, not like that, but like this. Hi. Oh, hi. How are you? Well, fine, I guess. You don't sound fine. Is that because you keep getting things wrong today? What? Did I? Oh yeah, you got loads of things wrong. You made loads of mistakes. Really? I thought I did okay and... No. Oh, well, what about when I finished off? No. Oh, I guess you're right. I am. And you know, we've got another lockdown coming up, haven't we? Yeah. So back to online streaming church again? Yep, we'll be doing that again. Does it bug you that lots of other churches are doing amazing, epic lockdown services and yours are a bit, well, yeah, that's a bit harsh. It's not true. St Andrews has really... Look, I'll show you what I mean. Check this out.
Watson's presents Church Online.
Yeah. And now yours. Hang on. No. How do I... Is that better? Good morning and welcome. We have had all sorts of problems. See what I mean? It's all right though. Not everyone can be great. Someone has to be, well, a bit rubbish. Now, I was joking there, but do you sometimes feel like that? Sometimes it's us that keeps telling ourselves that we're not good enough and that we can't get anything right. And all the while, God is saying, but I love you. And when you get things wrong, I forgive you. One of the first things we have to do when we hear that truth is forgive ourselves. We have to believe it. Just be a little bit kinder to ourselves. You may be feeling a bit lost among all this lockdown stuff. You may be loving it, but you may not be. You may be feeling a bit left behind at school. If so, you can always talk to someone. Talk to your parents or carers. Talk to your teachers. But here at the start of our series on forgiveness, before we look at how forgiveness really works, before we look at forgiving our enemies next week, we're starting by forgiving ourselves and knowing that God forgives us when we ask him to. Not because we earn it, but because Jesus earned it. So be kind to yourself this time and know what the person who wrote that psalm knew. I confessed my sins to you, they said, and you forgave me. All my guilt is gone. There's a great song about forgiving yourself and being kind to yourself. If your class has a couple of minutes now, it'd be great to listen to it together. The link is just here in the description. But until next week, be kind to yourself. Goodbye, and God bless.
Be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself.